Hello guys! Well, as is already traditional, let's start learning the new program by repeating the animation of a liquid ball. By the way, if you haven't seen it yet, then the review of the basic functionality of ToonSquid is in the last video. And today, we will animate a liquid ball, which I also did in Procreate and Procreate Dreams. Let's go! Click on the plus. In the settings, I have the height and width at 1080. FPS at 12. Click Create. First, we will draw a baseline along which the movement will occur. Select the brush tool and click on it again. I select the dynamic size brush and click on it. Here, be sure to adjust the smoothing intensity to remove roughness when drawing. I reduce the brush size and choose a red color. This time, we will draw a movement diagonally from the lower left corner to the upper right. This is the line we got. Now we need to create marks along which the ball will be placed. With their help, we will be able to adjust the speed of movement. I choose blue. I open the Layers panel and create a new one. And now we place marks on the line. The principle is this. The closer the marks are to each other, the slower the ball will move. Accordingly, the further the marks are from each other, the faster the movement will be. I draw like this. Where there is a turn, the speed is slower, that is, the marks are closer to each other, and at straight distances, I reduce the number of marks. This is how I got it. Now let's open the timeline. Since we only drew on one frame, we need to stretch it in width to see this background throughout the animation. Since we have FPS 12, this means that 1 second is 12 frames. 24 frames are 2 seconds. I think we will need 3 seconds. We stretch it to 36 frames. Next, in Properties, I reduce the transparency of each of the layers. Now click on the plus in the lower left corner and add a new layer. Now we move on to creating from the ball. ToonSquid supports both vector and raster modes. I think this is very cool. Click on the Path tool again. Let's select the circle. The vector will allow us to reduce and increase the scale of the circle without losing its quality. Let's change the color to green. Now we will reduce the ball by holding down the corner point. So that the bottom layer does not interfere with us, let's apply a lock to it. Okay, now we move the ball to the first mark. I want the first frame to be empty, so let's move it to the second frame. Now click on the duplicate button and move it to the next mark. For better orientation, we can turn on the onion skin. And now we repeat this for all the marks that we have drawn. Duplicate the ball and move it to the mark forward. Let's look at the preview. To make the animation loop, you need to press the arrow keys. It seems to me that the speed turned out just as I wanted. If you don't like something at this stage, then adjust the speed now. Let's move on to the next stage. Here we will just scale our ball. I want the ball to move closer to us at first and then get smaller after turning. Repeat this for all 3 loops. Now let's watch the preview again. Great! We can also turn off the background and watch the preview without it. Now let's move on to creating the tail. To do this, create a new layer on the timeline. Choose a brush and a light green color. Since vector and raster layers are not compatible, I draw on a new layer. You can use a vector here, but it seems to me that it will take much longer. Therefore, I draw the tail on a separate layer. And we need to close the outline so that we can apply the fill later. The tail itself will consist of 3 waves, and the length of the tail will be dynamic. The rules are as follows. The slower the speed, the shorter the tail. That is, where there are turns, the tail will decrease. And where the ball picks up speed, we stretch it. We repeat this for the entire animation. Preview. Great. Now let's move on to filling. Select the Fill tool. I found the filling process quite convenient. I click on the area I want to fill and then use the keys to move forward frame by frame. Here I haven't completely closed the outline, so let's fix that a little. Okay, see how quick and easy it is to use the fill here? I really liked it. Watch the preview. Now we move on to my favorite part, adding splashes. I will also draw on a new layer. The task is to draw flying drops and shapes from the main figure. Having broken away, the drop will move forward by inertia and shrink a little. You can also split the drop into several smaller ones. First, I draw the shapes on one frame and then gradually reduce them to nothing. Then I go back a few frames and add new drops. You can also draw not only ovals, but stuck together shapes. In fact, the more drops there are, the more interesting. Let's look at the intermediate preview. It seems to me that it already looks good. Now we need to continue in the same spirit and fill the entire animation with these drops. The main thing is to be guided by our principles. Draw a drop, gradually move it forward, and reduce it. And don't forget to split the drops into several. In places with high speed, you can draw large shapes. Let's look at the preview. Okay, it remains to turn off the background. Well guys, this is the animation we got today. You can compare this process with other programs in which I have already drawn. I will leave the link in the description. I hope this lesson was interesting or useful to you. Personally, I am very pleased with this program and plan to draw in it again. I am waiting for your impressions. See you in the next videos.